Smudge trying to help out. You're my mouse, Smudge. Eep, eep, eep. There you go. Do you want to do it? Do you want to do my editing today? No. No, I'm just going to sit there. Are you a happy cat? Are you a happy kitty? Yes, son. There you go. You can keep that. Don't say I don't do nothing for you. You're a fresh mouse there. Yay! High five! High five! Fine. High five! Yeah! Yeah! Oh, so cute! Oh yeah!
Hey, how you doing, guys? Welcome to a brand new video. Today is my weekly window. It's very late. It's kind of in the middle of the week. What happened to doing it every Friday, Sam? Huh? Punk? But basically, I was supposed to do this one last weekend, but it's just been so tough with moving. Please just be patient with me for the minute. Things are going to be a little all over the place, but just stick with me on that one and we'll get through this. So today I've got several different stories I'm going to be talking about, all kind of things that have been happening over the past couple of weeks as opposed to the past week, because there's stuff that I've wanted to talk about but haven't had a chance because of moving and not being able to get my videos out on time. So there's going to be several things today. First of all, I'm going to be talking slightly upon Jake Paul. I'm actually getting sick of discussing this boy, so it's just going to be a little segment going over some of the stuff he's done, some of the stuff I kind of appreciate him doing, and some of the stuff I really don't appreciate him doing. Next up, I have some little bite-sized chunks of information. I'll be looking at some gaming news. That's a couple of games that will be coming out fairly soon. Also, there's some stories upon mindfulness and science that I'm going to be talking about towards the end of the show. If there's a specific video that you want to see, there will be timestamps in the description so you can skip to whatever part you want to get to. So, without further ado, let's dive right in to this one. So, first of all, I'm going to be discussing Jake Paul and his recent antics. So, he's been doing a couple of things that have annoyed me, some things that I've actually appreciated in ways. So, first is this whole Faze banks thing. I mean, this is just terrible. In my eyes, this is absolutely terrible. I think Jake Paul's done a really bad thing here. Him and Team 10, the rest of them are obviously responsible as well. But that video was completely unnecessary. The bottom line is, he's a liar. He's completely lied about this situation in every single way, and so is the rest of Team 10. I think that should be pretty obvious by now, but for some reason, people are still unsure whose side to pick. Jake Paul lied. He lied about the whole thing. There was no assault at all. All that happened was a slight drunken accident that pretty much anyone in the world could have done. So after this all happened, Jake Paul thought it would be a great idea, even though he doesn't like drama, to make a video to 10 million people saying that Faze Banks assaulted his assistant. That's the point of the video. It wasn't like a video about that night and then there was a little bit that said, yeah, I met up with Faze, he was a bit drunk, accidentally bumped into my assistant. But no, that wouldn't get as many views, would it? That wouldn't get anywhere near as many views. And the whole bruise on the neck thing, absolute nonsense. What are you talking about? How the hell could you possibly get a bruise like that? To get a bruise like that, you would have had to literally have choked her out, and that wouldn't even create a bruise like that. That's not what it would have looked like. So that's a load of crap. Hi. See what I have to put up with. So then he goes on to make a video with Logan Paul, his brother, and within that video, Logan Paul asks him several questions about the night to try and get to the bottom of things himself. And within that video, they pull up an image on their phone of the policeman talking to Jake Paul's assistant on that night. That is crap. That is absolute crap. Previously, Jake Paul has made a video where he hired 2 actors in police uniforms to carry out a prank. It's the exact same person. It's the same uniform and the same person. What? How stupid do you think people are? So, you're a total liar. You've fabricated this whole thing. Absolute slander. You've really... You're an idiot, man. You're such an idiot. You will never learn from your mistakes. However, he has now made a new song with a music video. I watched it and I was actually kind of pleased. He's made a video admitting to some of his mistakes, admitting that he's been doing things wrong. I mean, there's a lot more that he should be doing to fix these mistakes, but at least he's kind of acknowledging it. However, that all falls apart with his latest video. So for those of you that don't know, Texas is having a little problem with the weather at the minute. There is currently an active tropical cyclone which goes by the name of Hurricane Harvey. This is causing a huge amount of damage, a huge amount of flooding. There's a lot of problem with getting out resources to people. There have been up to around 40 deaths at the minute and billions of dollars worth of damage. So Jake Paul thought it'd be a good idea to head out there, meet up with fans, and then fill up 2 U-Haul trucks with as many water bottles, blankets, pillows, food, that kind of thing as possible, which is a lovely idea if it was done for the right reasons and if it was done in a responsible manner. But typically Jake Paul can't do those kinds of things that the rest of us can, and absolutely screwed it up beyond belief. Again, this is the 3rd time now. More than that, he's clearly doing this because his channel's been under a bit of damage recently because of the stupid crap that he's been doing, losing over 200,000 subscribers, and rightly so. In fact, it should be a whole lot more than that, but most Jake Paul fans will let him cause as much havoc as possible and still love him. So the idea was that Jake Paul would head down to Texas, meet up with a load of his fans, and then together they would buy water, food, whatever, put it in these 2 U-Haul vans and take it down to the victims. But like I said, Jake Paul's incredibly irresponsible and screws things up completely. When he meets his fans, I don't know what he expected, but obviously they would be incredibly hard to deal with, and it would just create more danger than is necessary. We all know that huge fan meetups don't work very well. Just look at Logan Paul at VidCon. Security guards had to drag him to the ground because he was causing so much havoc. But in this case, there are vehicles involved, and fans ended up in a lot of trouble. They ended up getting run over. It was just chaos, absolute chaos. I don't know what else he expected, but they're really young kids. I mean, they're gonna be irresponsible themselves, and worst of all, this chaos led to tons of police cars, ambulances and fire engines having to be called out to go and deal with Jake Paul's stupid mess that he caused. This is ridiculous because there are people in real danger that need this support that Jake Paul is taking up. I'm going to show you a quick clip from Keemstar's latest video because he goes into this in great depth, and you'll probably get a better idea of the chaos in that way.
I need your guys' help. I need your power. Yeah. I need your commitment. We have the chance to save thousands of lives and to like show the world the power of social media.
When have you had the chance to save thousands of lives, honestly?
Now listen, Jakey Poo had an amazing idea. He was gonna go to San Antonio with 2 U-Haul trucks, have his fans meet them in a Walmart parking lot, and fill the U-Haul trucks filled with water and just all different types of supplies that victims needed. And then he was going to take them directly to the people that are suffering from Hurricane Harvey. Amazing plan, right? No, Jake Paul's a fucking idiot. As soon as Jake Paul showed up, all of his fans jumped on top of his car. But not only that, apparently Jake Paul ran over some of his fans. Roll it.
Someone got their foot ran over. I was literally right behind them. They got on top of the jet skis that he had on his trailer, on his truck.
It was on his tailgate.
Yeah.
And they're just hooked on. And
then
were
kids
just
got on.
It was
Kids
just
got
crazy.
on top of the jet ski. I have it recorded. I'll put it on right now.
What an idiot. What a goddamn idiot. He just can't do anything right. So, let's move on from this now and head to the world of gaming. One of my favourite worlds indeed. I've got part 1 of my White Day playthrough, which has just come out. Observer part 3 will be coming soon. Do you mind? As well as that, on November the 17th, we have Skyrim VR coming out. Unfortunately, this will only be available on the PlayStation 4, but apparently people aren't too excited about it. Apparently it's a bit clunky and doesn't work as well as people would have hoped. Now, Skyrim VR would be absolutely mind-blowing. I really think Bethesda should... I don't think they should have ever made Elder Scrolls Online. I think the whole reason why the Elder Scrolls series was good is because it was an incredibly immersive single-player experience. Moving it online completely gets rid of that immersion. Playing an online game, you know you're playing a game. You've got the interface, you've got the chat. It takes you out of the experience. I absolutely loved Oblivion. I absolutely loved Skyrim. I loved Morrowind. I never played any of the games before that. That was a bit before my time. Trying to do VR, I think that is a good idea. I think that is moving into the direction of being immersive, but there's been Skyrim, there's been Skyrim Special Edition, there's now going to be Skyrim VR. Move on! Make the next Elder Scrolls game. That would be fantastic, I think. I would love to see the Elder Scrolls game move back to single player. That's just my opinion though. I'm sure other people think differently to that. So as well as Skyrim VR, Battlefront 2 is going to be released on the exact same day. Now I'm really looking forward to this. I think the recent Battlefront was good in some ways, but I think it fell flat in a lot of areas, and I think a lot of people agree with me on that one. I am a huge fan of the Star Wars world, as long as we ignore those prequels. They were just really bad. I know that's been said a billion times, but they were really bad. I mean, the first 3 films were absolute masterpieces, but they weren't trying to be anything that they weren't. It was just a simple storyline that worked really well. My studio has become overrun by cats. What are we gonna do? Oh, Smudge. Okay, I'll just do things around you. Anyway, that's getting a bit off topic, but I've started playing Star Wars The Old Republic again. So if any of you out there play that, let me know and we'll go on a little adventure. Because the Knights of the Old Republic, in my opinion, was the best Star Wars game that was out there. It was set in a completely different time period, so there was a lot of new content, even though it was an older storyline. And I think it was really fleshed out. I think they did the whole alignment thing very well. The more evil things you do, the more you would become Sith, the more your face would become pale and covered in veins. I thought that was fantastic, and I loved the feeling of becoming this dark, evil presence. I'm a bit of a Sith fan when it comes to Star Wars games. Anyway, totally nerding out here, but let me know down in the comments whether you think Elder Scrolls should move back to single player or whether they should develop the online world, and let me know what Star Wars game you enjoyed and what Star Wars films you enjoyed, and we'll get a little discussion going. Finally, I've got a little bit of information that I found really interesting. It's about mindfulness, and it is about how it affects each gender separately. It seems like mindfulness has a more powerful impact on women than it does men. Let's take a look at this study and I'll explain what this means. So here we can see, overall, after the 12-week meditation program, everybody increased in mindfulness and self-compassion, and both genders reported less negative emotions, but the same level of positive emotions. When the authors examined the results according to gender, however, they found interesting results. Women's negative mood decreased more, and their mindfulness and self-compassion improved more compared to men. Women's boosted mood was directly associated with enhancements in all facets of mindfulness skills: the tendency to notice thoughts and emotions without judging or identifying them, and all 6 subscales of self-compassion skills: more self-kindness and less tendencies to self-judge and over-identify with emotions. I think that's really intriguing, and that brings on this whole thing of how different men and women really are. I mean, it's showing that we do have quite a bit of differences between us, and that was looking at this whole thing of self-judging, and I'm going to be doing a video on that soon where I'll be looking more into mindfulness and meditation and how we judge ourselves quite a lot and how that can have a really big impact on you, negative and positive. Anyway, there are more things I want to talk about, but I'm kind of running out of time here, and I've got a lot of stuff to be getting on with, unfortunately. Hopefully, I know I've already said this and it should have happened, but starting next week things will be back up and running properly, absolutely properly. I'll be doing a video tomorrow and on Saturday, so you'll be able to see that. Thank you so much for watching, guys. This has been a really messy episode, and I truly am sorry. This isn't good enough for me, in my opinion. I think it's just been all over the place, but I just haven't had the time to lay down something properly. So I really do hope you've enjoyed. Please leave a like if you do, and subscribe if you want to help support me and my channel. Thank you so much, guys. I will see you in the next one.